Good day to you, partner. I'm keen, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, we Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. We are doing a quick demonstration of the two of the best budget builds a Necromancer can do, and honestly, Desecrate is one of the best budget Uber build killers in the game, mainly when you consider safety. Now, if you want a even better safe and budget version, probably the best is going to be Amazon's, and Bubbles has done a lot of content on Summons On, and I did a bit too. I think I made an Uber Tristram video, but maybe I did it. Even though, I mean, just basically, they're really, really good at it, okay? Now, there is two other summon builds dimensions that work as well. Let's just get to that real quickly. That's going to be a full skeleton, so try skellies, you know, archers, mages, and warriors, and then get 10 CM after that, or as much curses as you can. The reason why I don't like that build is archers just die way too quickly, and you'll waste your time summoning. Now, Topwig is running basically the same build, but instead you're doing revives, and it's a much, much better version because you don't have to worry about the glass cannon archers. You still get mages, and why mages are good is they kind of help you control ads, just, you know, as they're attacking stuff, ads will die, and it can definitely help a new player deal with the chaos that is Chaos Tristram. That was a really dumb pun, and that's why I made that voice. It is chaotic, though. Okay. So let's talk real quickly about anything I don't like about what Topwig is doing. By the way, there is one more build, and that's going to be Revive, Clay Golem, and like one Blood Golem. Clay Golems do more single target DPS. So the only thing I didn't like about this, and there's definitely a reason behind it, is since you're running 10 Curse Mastery, you have Amplified Damage and Life Tap. Why is Life Tap so good? Not having to resummon your ads, I mean your summons all the time, is actually a really, really, really cool quality of life thing. So if you have a life tap up on the boss, what would be a great revive to combine that with? Well, one that attacks as like the second fastest revive in the game. The fastest being Thrashers, and that's because they ignore the idle in between attacks. Every single summon in the game has an idle, which means they wait 10 to 12 seconds, 10 to 12 frames to attack, which is basically, think of it like half a second. And so IAS doesn't really affect revives too much. Now, it still has an effect, and why I bring this up is because Hell Lords have frenzy stacks, so they'll attack a little quicker. But the bigger point is really, really, really this. They double swing. So that means they attack twice and steal even more health back. So that way, when you're doing Mephisto, who does a lot of poison damage, you can use Cow Lords, and they won't die if you do have 10 CM. Now, the helm is crap. You would definitely just want a magic helm. The armor is definitely, I guess you would call it not that budget, okay? By the way, that's a 6 shield. That's basically the best +3 shield you can make for Ubers. Is going to be that Revive. And it's definitely a great rune word for this. As you can see, a whole bunch of charms are missing, and that's why he made the Bone rune word. You get +2 skills and a ton of res. Now, for anyone worried about it, he had like 3 skillers or something. And he did have a Grave Palm that can be kind of hard to come by. But again, it's not a great shield. Again, it rolled the best, which is Revives. But you could definitely just find a magic shield, throw some P diamonds in that. And then you could also just buy a wand for even more plus skills on your summons very, very easily. Graven Spine is only buffing your Revives by 1. And although it buffs your Warriors and Mages by 4, it doesn't buff Skeletal Mastery, which is something. So a +3 summon wand would basically already be better. And so, you know, you kind of balance that back and forth with him having the Bone Rude Word, and especially not having a great helm. +2 summoning skills would probably be better. By the way, mages and archers and warriors, the main skill is way better than Skeleton Mastery, but it does have an effect if, you know, you have both warriors and mages or all 3, and you're losing Skeletal Mastery. Here we're going to be doing Budget Desecrate, which is one of the safest builds in the game again. In fact, it's safer than Summon Necro. Now, as you can see, he almost died, and I really, really don't know what that is. I've actually watched this video twice now, and I think it has to be stack charge bolts, and then he has like lower resist on him, and he just got chunked. It might have been desync. Desync's going to come up later, and that is something you always have to be careful for. No merc in either of these videos. If you do want a merc to try to survive, Act 3 or Act 1 is the way to go. Act 5 and Act 2 are better, basically at single target, but the problem with them is they will probably die without good gear, and even when you have better gear, they still might die randomly because they'll just stand in a lightning hose and just get demolished. Why isn't he running 20 Curse Mastery on the Summon build? And that's because the Crapafy does not work on Prime Evils, although it does work on the ads, so 20 CM is always an option. There's really not much to talk about the Desecrate kill because it is actually that safe, so I'll bring up something else. He doesn't have any full rejuvenation potions, okay guys? He's just using health pots and mana pots. Even if you have full rejuvenation potions, please go into this fight with mana pots because you run out of mana and you'll have to waste your full jubes. And if you're a new player, inexperienced, or things start to go wrong, you're going to want your full rejuvenations for health and not mana. If you ever need to disengage, go ahead and do it. Ubers no longer regen health. That's one of the reasons why you can't just walk in and out of the portal. So if you die, that's it. You lost your Pandemonium Talisman. But since they don't regen, you can disengage at any point, get yourself back in order, and come back in. So on the Desecrate build, of course he's going to have revives, right? It's just a no-brainer for a boss fight to have something helping you out, and they do like as much single target DPS as you do. And the reason he's using Blunderbores here is because he doesn't get the benefit of Life Tap. Now, that was desync, and there's also one ability you really need to watch out for, even as safe as Desecrate is. There's Armageddon, but that doesn't do that much damage. The Cold Wave, the little triangle cold attack that Bale uses, is incredibly powerful, and he just got rubber banded into it and took a ton of damage, and, you know, you can die that way. And if you're a hardcore player, if you die that way, you don't get to make a ticket. Okay, guys? So, yeah, keep all of that in mind. One thing you might be noticing is gear is dropping. I thought they were supposed to have fixed this at some point, but maybe I didn't. So you can actually get gear killing stuff in Chaos Tristram. Again, a solid offhand, but again, actually for Poison it probably is the best, and Venom is great, and that's the most expensive item. Again, not having full charms, he's kind of just showing you how you can make the build. Bone is not necessary. The Helm is trash. I think it's incredibly budget, except for Venom, but Venom is a great weapon to use because Pierce allows your poison to tick longer, and the longer it ticks, the less dangerous it is, again, making this build incredibly safe. Now, besides that, I think Toplook did a good job. Again, yeah, and afterwards he's just letting you know he dumped into LR because lower resist really helps buff poison damage because, again, it does more damage and it even ticks longer. Skeleton King out, guys. GG.